welcome back to another video. Today we have the last video of 2020, so I thought it'd be nice to do a sort of like end of the year Q&A while I sketch with you guys or just draw. So yeah, I asked you guys on Instagram a few days ago to send me some questions that you'd like me to answer or things that you'd like me to talk about in this little end of year party here on the channel, and I'm gonna be going through those today. So first things first, yeah, I'm using my current sketchbook, which is a LEUCHTTURM 1917. It's a A4 square sketchbook. I'm enjoying it very much. And I've recently been using a lot of colored pencils in my sketchbook, so it's going to be a colorful spread today. Let's begin. Let me just open up to a new fresh page. As you can see, I've been very obsessed with colored pencils. So the first question is, what has been the most challenging part of being an artist / having an art business? So the most difficult or challenging part of being an artist and having an art business, well, for me especially, is that I do everything myself. So in that case, it's kind of challenging because I kind of have to figure everything out on my own and do all the boring business part of things on my own, which includes doing the taxes and all of the bureaucracies that is the least glamorous part of being an artist. I have to do those in order to like pay taxes and make money and live with money. Yeah, I also think the most challenging part is like having to put a price and give monetary value to something that you love doing, like your hobby or your passion, which is something weird that when people become like full-time artists or turn their artist gig into a job, it's something that you have to kind of translate in your brain that art is just no longer like that really fun hobby thing that you do. It's also now your job. So you have to figure out a way to separate when you're drawing for yourself or when you're drawing for work. And sometimes the line is very blurry and you just kind of have to rewire your brain a little bit. But I think other than that, it's really lovely, and I'm very lucky that I get to do art as a job and have a business with it. Next question. Best part of this train wreck of a year. I got a lot of questions like this one. I think the best part of this year has been finishing uni and moving to a different city, but also that was the hardest part of the year for me as well, which is very strange. But yeah, I think that was a very wonderful thing that happened. It was something I've been looking forward to for a while, so it was kind of, bittersweet that it happened on a year like this. Finishing uni, being a graduate, starting work full-time and having more time for my art business and my YouTube and stuff like that. I feel like on a less personal level, I feel like the best part of this year was actually how, I feel like people got together a lot more in general. I feel like people started appreciating small businesses a lot more. The call for supporting small shops and online artists became a lot more prominent, and people just became more aware of how important small businesses are. And I feel like that was a very nice thing that happened in 2020. That even though everyone was kind of struggling, people still tried to, be there for each other in whatever way they could and try to support each other. And I think that was very nice. What are you going to do now that you graduated? Congrats on that, by the way. Thank you so much. So I graduated from university earlier this year in May. And I immediately after moved to Manchester to get an apartment and start working, which, even though it was working from home, it was also nice to be in a new city, for a fresh start and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm now working as a freelancer in animation, sometimes illustration, And when I'm not doing that, I'm working on my shop, I'm working on YouTube videos, and that's what I'm doing with my life. Essentially, I'm a freelance animator and illustrator. Okay, next question. Who is your favorite Haikyuu character? Oh, what a lovely question. My favorite Haikyuu character is Nishinoya. He's the best boy, and I immediately fell in love with him the second he appeared on screen when I watched it the first time. He's so pure. It's so weird. I like this year, because of COVID and quarantine or whatever, I finally actually managed to watch like hundreds of things that I've been meaning to watch for years that I just kept like saying, oh, I don't have time for it yet. Oh, I'm not in the mood to start something new because I've got all these things. And then this year I had all the time in the world, and I actually managed to watch all these shows that I've been wanting to binge, and that was kind of like really lit. And you know what? I never would have met Nishinoya if it hadn't been for quarantine. Nishinoya is a good boy. I might draw him next, actually, once I finish this warm-up. By the way, I keep looking over there because I've got like my Pinterest open with some reference pictures for outfits and stuff. Okay, next a question. Any fun stories about graduation? My graduation was online this year, obviously, and it actually just happened last week when I'm filming this. It was definitely an experience, I won't lie. I think some of the funniest stories from that day were Devon and I got all dressed up in our gown and hat and graduation stuff, and we went outside to take some pictures. We were in the courtyard of our condo, and one of our neighbors just like popped her head out of the window and was like, congratulations! And we were like, oh my god, thank you! And it was just like such a beautiful, wholesome moment. And then during the actual graduation, it was very anticlimactic, obviously. It was just like 20 minutes of people just calling out random names. And then at one point, when they finished calling out our names, I think Devon forgot to like unmute themselves, and it just went, that's it! and I died. It was so funny. Yeah, it was chaotic, it was a mess, but it was so funny, and it's definitely gonna be a story to tell. So about this drawing thing that I've been doing with pencils, I've been very into like layering colors. So I normally don't travel around in my pencil case with a bunch of these different pencils from my Polychromos set. And I've been very inspired by Chrishongart and like Baotpham. I'll link them in the description because I'm probably butchering their names. But yeah, they do a lot of work with colored pencils, and it's so beautiful and colorful, and I've just been really inspired by that. So I've been doing a lot of colored pencil work, and I love layering different colors to create different toned shades. So like I'll use dark blues for the really dark shades, and then I like going in with a yellow to add like different tones in the skin, and it's just like a lot of fun. And at the end, the drawings always look so colorful and happy. You see how pretty it looks, like just after adding the dark blues. It just looks so like more like a lot more three-dimensional and colorful and pretty. That was pretty much my warm-up. I really want to draw Nishinoya next. Okay, next question. Will you be coming to Portugal for Christmas? I will indeed. I will indeed. I am very excited. But on the day that I'm filming this right now, it's 2 days until I get to go home for Christmas. Sorry, let me just get a picture up of Nishinoya. My son Nishinoya, he's the libero. He's number 4. He's a good boy.
I love him so much.
And he's a little short king as well. And I want to protect. What was I saying? Oh, yes, I'm going home for Christmas. And it was an absolute nightmare to get flights. Like, I think this is the third flight that I managed to book. Obviously, during COVID, it's been a nightmare to actually go home and see my family. We're just going to have a nice, quiet Christmas at home with my mom and my stepdad and my little sister. It's gonna be lovely. And my dog and my cat. It's gonna be so nice. I'm obviously sad that we don't get to go see like my grandma and my extended family, but we'd definitely rather not see my grandma this one year so that we get to see her every other year. That's me being not so subtle and telling people to be wary of your choices this Christmas. But by the time this video comes out, it's past Christmas, so I'm trying to do this sort of like hybrid of anime eyes and my style, which I've never done before, so this is going to be very interesting. And then, of course, his beautiful little tuft of hair that I remember when I was watching Haikyuu for the first time and he popped up and I was like, what the hell is this haircut? And I razzed him for like a solid 5 minutes. And then I so immediately fell in love with him that I shut myself up so fast. I was like, you know what? I respect him. This hair is everything. And you're right. You're just right. So, should we head on to the next question? Let's do it. Have you ever straightened your hair? How long did it get? Great question. Actually, I saw this question a few days ago and I actually hopped onto Twitch with Devon and decided that it'd be a great idea that Devon would straighten my hair live on Twitch on a Saturday evening. So we actually did straighten my hair. It was super long. Devon did such a good job. It was crazy. But my hair was super long. Yeah, it was fun, but I immediately hopped in the shower because I missed my curls. Does this look right? I don't know. Which one of your accomplishments this year are you most proud of? That's a really nice question. I think, as I mentioned, one of my greatest accomplishments was actually graduating during a global pandemic and finishing my degree. That was pretty crazy. I pretty much finished my entire graduation film, my stop motion film during quarantine in my house in Leeds, which was pretty insane. Didn't think I was gonna do it. I think my next achievement is probably managing to get through all the really bad mental health spots I went through this year. They were really bad, and somehow I made it. I got through them. Just trying to get the Karasuno uniform looking accurate. Okay, I went to get tea. Yes, Nishinoya. I was going in with the yellow for his super cool hair parting at the front, which makes all the sense in the world. And we were heading on to our next question. What are some goals you're planning to achieve in 2021? Very nice. So I definitely want to finish my comic next year. I have been writing a comic and drawing out a comic for the past few months, and I just recently finished roughing it all out and thumbnailing everything out. Yeah, I don't know if I'll realistically finish the comic next year, but I definitely like to. I want to finish the animation that I've been working on for like a year and a half, a short film that I wanted to get finished before December, but unfortunately I didn't have time because of commissions and work. But I'll definitely be able to finish it in like January or February. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing some cool things for the shop, i.e. like sketchbooks and I've already got like charms and stuff on the way to the shop. It's gonna be so cool. And I'm working on making tote bags and stuff like that, so Gostas mais de falar inglês ou de falar português? So this person's asking me if I prefer to speak in Portuguese or in English. I like to speak in English because it's very easy. When I'm in the UK, obviously I find it like I become accustomed to speaking in English because I'm here most of my time. But obviously when I'm home, it feels so nice to talk in Portuguese and in my native language. And also Portuguese is just like such a beautiful language. Yeah, I definitely love talking in Portuguese a lot, but English is just like easy and I don't really have to think about it too much. So like I feel like talking in Portuguese takes a lot of brain power, so it's good to talk in Portuguese, but it's like it takes effort. Okay, I'm gonna add just some shading to Nishinoya's hair, and then I think I'm done with his hair. I think I'm done with his drawing. Is there any brand you would like to work with in the future? Yeah, I'd love to work with Faber Castell eventually at some point. I am a huge fan of Faber Castell. I'd love to work with Archer and Olive just because I've recently this year become a huge fan of Archer and Olive as a brand and as a women-owned business, and the products, the quality, it's just amazing. I think those are the main two at the moment. I'm gonna add some green stuff to shade his face. Like doing this thing with colored pencils has really forced me to get out of my comfort zone, because like I would never think of using green to shade someone's face or to shade anything, and then doing these sort of layering styles, I'm just kind of like becoming a lot less perfectionist and constricted. Like I just feel like I can go crazy. There you go. That's a little drawing of Nishinoya in sort of my style, I guess. Will you ever bring back the podcast when you have time? Yes, I get this question a lot. Like me and Devon both get this question a lot, and we are definitely going to bring back the podcast in the new year. This year's been so obviously hectic that we just haven't had time or the energy or the mental stability to do the podcast in the past few months. It's hard to find a day where neither one of us is depressed or exhausted or busy with work, and I feel like we're just, still figuring out this whole working from home and living in a new city and getting a grasp on a new sort of routine. Yeah, we'll definitely bring back the podcast in the new year. We're just took a little break to get our bearings a little bit. But it's really lovely to see that people actually really enjoy the podcast and want us to bring it back. So thanks, guys. For those of you who don't know, I have a podcast with Devon called Binge Inking. What artwork from this year are you most proud of? That's a really good question. I think probably the inks drawing that I did a few months ago. I actually did it for a video, but I really enjoyed it because it was me using like a very new medium that I never tried before, and I stepped out of my comfort zone. I also really liked the painting I did. It's actually a print on the shop at the moment. It's called Wanderer, and I did it with watercolors while I was home in Portugal. And it's just really like magical and flowy. maintain a work-life balance? Great question. I don't think I'm very good at it as of yet. I'm still working on figuring that one out. I feel like what I at least attempt to do is to establish working hours. So what I try to do, please keep in mind everything that I'm saying is what I try to do. I don't exactly succeed at it. I try to establish that work hours is 9 to 5. And then when I'm not working, I try to move away from this desk completely, and I'll either go into the living room or chill on my bed. This desk is work time, and leaving the desk means I'm off the clock. I think that kind of again ties in with what I was saying earlier, that being an artist for work is kind of difficult to separate work time and leisure time. When you're doing what you love, I think it's fine to maybe have it a bit blurry, because it just means that you enjoy what you do, I guess. So I just realized this entire drawing I was doing was out of shot. We'd love to see it. Great. I'm so sorry. You know what? I'm gonna draw a bird. Pipa never really draws animals, but today she's feeling adventurous. Oh my god, it could be like a crow because of Nishinoya. It all comes back together. For anyone who doesn't watch Haikyuu, their like volleyball team is like sometimes called the Flightless Crows. It's like a whole thing. But you know, not really a huge question, but can I make an OC that looks like you? You're so pretty. Oh, that's so cute. Yes, of course you can make an OC that looks like me. I'd be honored. That's so cute. Thank you. How do you juggle everything? Best tips for productivity. I have a bullet journal. That's definitely a lifesaver when you have multiple things happening and you can't actually remember a single one of them. Yeah, if I didn't have my bullet journal, nothing would get done. If you don't have the energy or the patience for a bullet journal, just a planner is honestly a lifesaver. I think the best way of juggling things is allocating different tasks for different days. So I don't expect to do everything in a day or everything every single day. I just allocate different days for different things. So today I'm working on this animation commission, and then next day I'm editing this video, and then the day after that I'm going to be packaging orders. Allocating your time and setting your tasks to their specific days, and that's probably I think the best advice I can think of right now. I'm scared to sketch because I'm afraid of mistakes. Any advice? I think that comes with time, losing the fear of being too perfect in your sketchbook. I feel like I still have that sometimes, but I think I've just tried to learn to accept that my sketchbook is going to be messy, and it should be messy. I think I read this quote last year, and it really stayed with me. It's like, the more mistakes you do on purpose, the less you fear doing them on accident. That's probably not exactly how it goes, but it's, you get the gist. I feel like a good way to get rid of that fear is to actually intentionally make a mess a lot of the time and ruin the expectation that your sketchbook needs to be neat and perfect. Spill some coffee on there, just get a brush and just because then your sketchbook, it no longer is that perfect little thing for you. It's more of like an experimentation. It'll make you feel a lot more free. All right, let's start this sketch with a different color. Let's go crazy. Let's go for this mauvey pink. Everything seems so perfect. How did the beginning of your online shop go? Many trials and errors. Yes, in fact. It's just like any new project or anyone who's starting out a business. It's never gonna start off perfect. I did make tons of mistakes and tons of stupid things, obviously. That's just how it be. I did a bunch of stupid things as people do when they don't know what they're doing, but that's just the magic of it, I think. You gotta do the stupid things to learn from your mistakes and then do less stupid things. There was a lot of trial and error, especially with manufacturing. So picking printing companies and, actually knowing what sizes and different paper weights and finishes I actually liked. it took a lot of, trying out different kinds of printing processes and seeing how that works. And of course, a lot of mistakes were made, like forgetting to put things in CMYK. That's happened maybe 3 times. I think the biggest mistakes I made were probably when it came to like packaging and shipping things out, where I was still learning how to package my things in a way that would protect them to the maximum. Especially when I started doing enamel pins, it took me a little bit too long to realize that I should just package them with the pin design facing down if I'm sending it with a print, because there was a few orders that I sent out where the pin backing thing like went through the paper. It was like a whole thing. I feel like now a lot of those mistakes I don't make anymore because I've learned. I did post a video a few weeks ago about how to start up your own art shop and selling your art online. And I talk a lot about, like, don't be afraid, because you're probably going to make mistakes. So just accept that right off the bat, and just understand that it's a trial and error thing. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to learn from them. You're going to get better. So yeah, the less stressed out you are about that, the better. And I'm still doing trial and error on some other things. Every time I want to make some kind of new product, there's that whole trial and error thing again, where I try to learn about the production that I want for that specific product, and trying to find different manufacturers for that and seeing which one actually fits perfectly for me. Any tips for keeping curls healthy and curly? How often do you wash your hair? I've really been obsessed with this company called Only Curls London. It's a small business that I have just been obsessed with, and they make probably some of the best creams and hair products I think I've ever tried on my curls. Every person's hair is different, but for me, I use curl cream and a little bit of hair mousse every time I wash my hair, and I only brush my hair in the shower with conditioner on to avoid breaking hair. And then out of the shower, mousse, hair cream, sometimes leave in conditioner and some hair oil to, moisturize the curls. How long have you played violin? Also, I love your art. I used to play violin for like 5 years when I was younger, and I hated it at the time because my violin teacher was mean. Not to propagate the stereotype, but she was very mean. A few years back, I kind of realized I wanted to get back into it, so my mom actually is so sweet. She gave me a violin for my birthday this year, and I haven't actually had that much time to practice it, but that's definitely one of my resolutions for next year, is to practice it more and get back into it, because I've been practicing it a little bit. It's kind of like riding a bike, not gonna lie, but I'm obviously incredibly rusty because it's been like 7-8 years since I've played violin. So I successfully played La Vie en Rose the other day, so that was very successful and rewarding. 3 things you're grateful for this past year. Good question. We love gratitude. Yes, I'm very grateful for my friends. I feel like we all got really much closer this year, and my family, which I know is a cliche, but who didn't get more grateful for their friends and family this year? I'm very grateful for everyone who kept supporting me this year, even though, it was a very struggle bus of a year for everyone, but people still found a way to support me in whatever way they could, whether it was on my shop or watching my videos, sharing my videos. And I just really want to thank you all so much, because that was really lovely of you. And finally, I was very, very grateful for having a job that I could just carry on with from home, because it meant that I could have at least some sort of normalcy still left over during quarantine. And I think this is our last question. When you hit a mental health low, do you usually draw more or take a break from drawing? And I, again, get this question quite a lot. And I think it's very important for people to know that, it's okay to not want to draw or not feel creative when they have a mental health slump, because I definitely, I can't even touch a pencil when I'm depressed or when I'm really going through it, because nothing, like one of the big symptoms of depression is that nothing brings you joy, even like something like drawing. Just the thought of drawing like makes me feel ill sometimes when I'm having a really bad depression time. So yeah, I just don't do it because it's fine to just take a break and come back to it when you feel like you're a bit better and you feel a bit more healed. You'll stop feeling depressed at some point, so just don't stress out about it. Okay, so this is what we've done today. We've done a very colorful spread, very much in the style of what I've been doing recently with my sketches, so yeah, very happy with it. It's definitely a lot of fun to do these with you guys. Thank you so much for all your questions and for, again, all of the support that you guys have given me this year. It's always so fun hanging out with you guys for Sketch With Me's. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you have a lovely end of year. Please stay safe during New Year's Eve. And yeah, I hope everyone has a lovely start to 2021. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye!